Hey everybody, this is Frankie Abbruzzino with the Scoop News. Okay, I'm trying this the third time they say is a charm. I kept doing it live on my own channel. Basically, this is a live interactive daily news show where I cover the news for Sarasota County. It's interactive, so you can ask me any questions. If I see it, I'll answer it. If I know the answer, if I don't know the answer, then I may just ignore it. If you want to just say hi, you can just say hi. The last couple days, I've done it using this software program I have that allows me to do more visual stuff on it. I can play videos in that. The problem is to get that live onto Facebook will cost like $350. So I've put it off for now until I decide on something else to do. And let me share this. Right now I'm sharing it on my pages so that we build up the audience. And this is my last share, and it gives people time to get on. Boom. All right. Let's start off with the big news, the one in Nokomis that I went to the press conference. I've been getting a lot of calls. I'm not gonna be the person that puts the names out there. I'll wait for local MSM to do it, or the sheriff. All I could say is that one is a student at Venice High School. The other one, I believe, graduated. And a lot of students are pretty upset about it. I know my daughter knew one of the individuals involved in the situation. Obviously it's not good. And I don't want to say too much on it because I just don't like doing that stuff. I'll let MSM do it. The one girl that was saying people were laughing, the media was there. I went there. Those guys are as still as anything. I didn't see any media laughing. They were there trying to cover and get information out to everybody. I didn't see anyone laughing, and I think the girl was just really upset because she knew the individuals there and everything that transpired. And the way it all went down was pretty tragic. I got mine from a very good, very reliable source, what happened, and it's just a travesty all around. So we'll see if anybody releases any information. I'm sure the rumor mill's going crazy. I know I've gotten a ton of calls in addition to my daughter in regards to that entire situation. If you're just joining, this is a live interactive show. You can ask any questions over on the right-hand side, or if you just want to say hi, we're covering local news. I'll say that a couple times just to make sure everybody understands it. I put this out because there are some families that are still struggling out there with food. And so I put out this new CERT thing. Hold on. Let me get over there. I forgot. Before going live, I was communicating with someone that needed some information. And let's see. Okay. Food for Florida. Florida CERT. I've never heard of Florida CERT until this whole Irma thing broke down. Once that went around, they started communicating like medical, legal stuff and all that different forms of help you can get. And now they're doing this. Food for Florida provides food assistance for those affected by the recent disaster. I know a lot of you guys have been impacted by it. They give a website you can go to and just go through the process of getting that money. One thing I didn't want to touch on, and I think I will down on it here, and it hit my mind because we're talking Irma, we're talking food, and the smiley faces. EOC. I think I'm going to get to it, but I was amazed that the individual, I guess he's their media consultant, I don't know who the guy was, came out and acted like it was no big deal to spend $130,000 on food for 4 days. Meanwhile, Manatee spent $9,000. Then he said, well, it's not a big deal. County taxpayers aren't going to get stuck with it. We're going to bill FEMA for it. Guess what? FEMA is paid with our taxes, guys. I love how they always do that. I will say something to a local politician. I'll say, well, you're doing this. Oh, no, it's not a big deal. We're getting that from Florida. The taxes there. That's my taxes. So I believe what Manatee said, that they'll only reimburse at a reasonable rate. But what was so annoying was this guy that came out yesterday acting like it was not a big deal. Somebody asked about neighborhood kids taking them trick-or-treating. I don't know. But it depends on what city you're in, right? I know here in Florida, in Venice, a lot of people go to Stony Brook. Like yesterday, the city of Sarasota had a busy night. They talked about this Bobby Jones. And Councilman Brody's the only one that was really against it, where they want to take about $21 million to renovate it. And he's like, I think he said they're losing something like $500,000 a year. Why would we spend $21 million to renovate a course where we're losing money? Makes sense. And then they talked about $3 million for affordable housing over in the Rosemary district, which I'm sure a lot of people are for. A lot of times what happens, though, is what we run into, like the city of Venice last week. They don't have money. They don't have money for fire trucks to do more they need, the Jaws of Life to repair the fire department, or all these other infrastructures that the issues they have throughout the city. Yet they'll take $700,000 and put it on a pier that just went down. It's like, well, you had $700,000 for the pier. Why can't you take care of the fire truck? It amazes me how these politicians are, and they get away with it because they think you guys aren't listening. You're not paying attention. And for some reason, my phone isn't working. Hold on one second. And I get my updates this way. Any questions? Why I'm trying to distract you guys. All right, here we go. Debris. Everybody's saying, hey, what's up with the debris? I live within the city of Venice, and a guy put out a map saying, hey, these are the highlighted areas. It was great that he did that, and it shows that, hey, we really want to get this stuff picked up. But what it did illustrate to me is, Jesus Christ, that's all you picked up in 2 weeks? That highlighted area? And then, the county put out a video basically showing that, hey, we're out there in the unincorporated areas of Venice, which means you're not within the city of Venice. And we're picking up debris. We picked up a ton of it. Basically, it's a PR. The PR is going out there and trying to make it look like, hey, we're doing a great job. I know you still got debris sitting out there. I put out a story yesterday, which we'll probably come to, where the issue, I think it's the same time I put something out there, but it's becoming more prevalent where you're seeing rats and snakes and all those things in the debris piles. And if you live like where I do, the island of Venice is infested with rats. I don't care what to say. I remember somebody wrote John Hollick once, the mayor, and said, yeah, I'm hearing the city's infested. I want to move there. And he said, I've never heard that. And I'm like, where the hell's this guy been? It's been infested since I was a little kid. We used to clean out the traps at Publix on the island all day long. I was just amazed that he didn't know it. And we're infested even off the island. I don't live on the island anymore. And it's not just something that's reserved strictly for us great folks here in the city of Venice. It's throughout the area, unfortunately. Thank you, Tammy. Venice Regional, they put out a press release about mammogram specials encouraging breast screening cancer. I think they did this last year, too. It's always a good thing. Go out there and get checked. You want to nip it in the bud as soon as you can. And the dates aren't popping up on my iPhone. But if you click on that article, it'll break it down, all the services and all the stuff that they'll provide you there. Venice resurfacing delays. They didn't really get into why there is said delay on the resurfacing. Basically, they're going to remove concrete and lay down new resurfacing. And they didn't really know why. They just said it's going to be delayed. And it's on a bunch of streets, it looks like, on the island. What a surprise, huh? The island. The island gets their debris picked up first. The island gets their roads done first. What do I know, though? All right, what are we going to? Sarasota County Fire Prevention Open House. Those things are always fun. I like going there. I think I was reading where they do demo fires and the different things for the kids. It's more of a kid-friendly environment, but they like to get parents out there to show them, hey, this is what we do in the community. This is what we're all about. You can meet the chiefs, meet the fire folks and all that. Gopher tortoise is a protected animal here. It's a protected species, and we all know about the one that was shot up the other day. Well, they found one in Inglewood Pool. The video's a little short, just shows the firefighter basically going out there because they can't swim. They're not supposed to be in water. They're land-based animals. And it basically covered that. Let's see what else we got. Turkey breast. I shared this, the recall. And whoever does your makeup, they're doing a great job, Paul. How about that guy? It was so funny. What was funny is I go there and they all ignore me all the time, obviously. And the one girl that was with Fox had to sit in her car doing makeup the whole time. Then you had the guy that was standing next to me, and when I came and did my intro, and he was out at his car putting blush? So he was doing this with makeup on his face. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I start thinking, do I need makeup? I am 50. I got a lot of wrinkles. But thank you to C4MH.com for helping me out a little bit and making me feel a little bit young there. All right. There is right now. It's pretty windy out. It was raining briefly, and they only forecasted 20% rain today, but it's pretty cloudy and negative looking out there. it does call for more rain this weekend, which kind of sucks because I'm going to an outdoors wedding this weekend, and I know they really don't want the rain to come. Let's see. Free health screenings at the Quick Library from 10 to 3. And guess what? I think that was yesterday, so let's just ignore that one. All right. Night out. This is tonight. Sarasota PD. It's family event. It's 5:30 to 7:30. This will be fun for the kids if you can make it up there. It's K9 demonstrations, bomb squad, robot, emergency vehicles, junior SWAT challenge. Mo Marine will be there. Face painting, bounce houses, forensic food, beverages. Now that sounds like a great time. It's 5:30 to 7:30. It's tonight, and I'm trying to see where the address is. You know, I'm going to write them. I don't see where this event will be. Oh, there it is at 2099 Adams Lane. So it's there by the station. So go out there and check that out. The kids will love it if you're up in downtown Sarasota. We do have a new 30% chance of happening, some type of depression or tropical system out there in the Gulf, but they said it doesn't really look like it will come to Florida, but it's something that bears watching. Talk to your kids about mass shootings. I don't know. Some people might need to watch this and see how you talk to your kids. I don't know if I needed to, but some people may need it, so I put it out there. It's actually a psychologist, the lady in the picture, that gives you some ideas on how to approach it if your kids ask. Let's see. Bobby Jones and this iPhone's been messing up. It keeps popping me back up to the beginning for some reason. And what else? Any questions out there while I'm looking? Keating's in the house from Orlando. All right. Here we go. New technology for card skimmers. This is a good thing. How many times is it that we're going to come across card skimmers here? It seems almost like weekly that we're getting these individuals. And I thought they were making these new changes that was going to prevent it and make it the likelihood of it occurring less likely. But that's not really happening. But now they got this new technology. I guess the problem will be is who will pay for the technology to put those in to prevent the skimming. Because I don't think the gas stations really bear any responsibility when you lose money through the skimmer. The gas is there. People are still going to need it. The demand is still going to be there. And I don't know if there's any encouragement for them to spend the money to go out and do that stuff, unfortunately. That's the way I view it. There's some articles about hotel security and stuff. What else? The biggest thing out there was that issue over in Nokomis. The Frank Beebe trial, we got a lot of people like Kevin Munoz with Sarasota Herald. He takes a lot of photos usually. He's all over the place whenever there's news. If you're on Twitter, he's the guy to follow, Carlos Munez. And he works with the Herald, but he's over there at the Frank Beebe trial, and he's giving updates constantly. And that's one thing, I get updates constantly from all the reporters, which is why I'm able to put the news out there pretty fast. Because most people will follow WWSB. They won't follow the individual reporters. I follow the individual reporters. I get the news, and then I can put it out rather quickly in comparison to WWSB. Collaboration between Northport Police and FHP. We covered this again the other day. WWSB did a story on it yesterday. And they basically talked about the speeding and the deaths that are occurring from River Road down to, I guess it would be Toledo Blade. And the idea isn't to generate extra revenue. They're only making about $2 per ticket, but it's to support the FHP that's undermanned and ensuring that people are slowing down. It was funny listening to this FHP guy. He's basically like, you know what? Until we come along and we're up behind you, people are out there, they're texting, they're talking on the phone, they're totally distracted until we come up on them, and there's just not enough of us. The other thing he mentioned, which I didn't realize, is I guess you do realize that he basically said when it's a sunny day out, people feel like they can do anything when it comes to the road. They can multitask with a phone in their hand, texting and talking and playing on the radio and dancing. And that causes a lot of the issues that are out there. Thank you. Casey. Hi, my friend. I think Casey lives in Germany or something. Speaking to Dutch. All right. Benderson Park, what's next for them? I guess they got another event here, and they just talked about how this was a great event for them, and in 2022 they may get it again, that rolling championship. And what are they going to do? And they started covering the other events that are coming their way, like the Celtic event. And then they have some huge, I think it's God, what is it called? Where you do the running, swimming, and all that stuff. I can't think of the race. Anyone? Any help? Anyone? All right. Well, it's this weekend, I'll tell you that. They went on old Betsy with Linda Carson and Earl. Earl's a good guy. If you're here in Venice and you ever could stop by and see old Betsy, one of the first fire truck for the city of Venice back in the 20s, before we were a city, Earl is the guy that maintains it. And he's the big, heavyset guy. Used to be a city councilman. He's a really nice guy, and he just loves to talk about that. He loves to talk about the history of Venice. He'll sit there and get out all the yearbooks. And, if you ever see old Betsy, stop by their booth, and it'll be an education for you in regards to Venice. He knows a lot. He's a super nice guy. Okay, Sarasota Sheriff he tweeted about Emily. That's the story I'm on now. Sorry, I'm getting some reports out there. Sarasota PD basically said that Gwyneth Dotson and Tyler McKeon, I guess they're two teenagers. I'm assuming they ran away with each other. They were found yesterday or this morning at about 3 in the morning. So they are home. They are safe. All is good. And let's see. There was this one, WFLA talked to 2 individuals that were at the Las Vegas scene where you had some idiot up there. They said it was an AR, but it sounded more like a chain-driven gun to me. I think it's some type of modified gun. Triathlon, thank you. Everyone knows it's a triathlon, but me. But the 2 individuals from Sarasota that were there, and they went through and accounted for, basically covered what happened at the event, how scary it was, and, just their overall feelings and all that stuff. I heard some horrible stories today. I listened to talk radio all day, and just some horrific stories coming out of there on what happened and the experiences people had from running and tripping over bodies. I was listening to one guy on a talk show. He said he was up front in what he called the kill zone, and they heard the firing. They all got down. He's a firefighter from LA. He was there with his wife, brother, and I think his sister-in-law, and they all got down. They didn't know where it was coming from, so they couldn't get up and run because they were like, well, we don't want to run towards it. We don't know where it's at. We don't know if they're on the ground or what. And he said at one point he remembered lifting his head up and seeing a guy shot in the neck, another one shot in the chest. He said he had like 6 people surrounding him right where he was at, dead. And yet he was saved, him and his family members. And, you hear countless stories like that of survival. You hear some great stories of heroism out there where people went to great lengths to help others. One guy was giving CPR to an individual. He got shot in the back. I think he was a firefighter too. He got shot in the back. He will survive, but you keep hearing all these harrowing stories, which is a good thing. It's a bad thing, the whole event that took place, but a lot of you saw true Americana, if you will, come out at that event. Let's see, what else we got here? Sorry, my iPhone for some reason keeps messing up and going to the very top whenever I refresh. And here we go, emergency. Oh, this is that fine dining story. If you're just joining, you can ask any questions. What's your favorite Tom Petty song? Oh, what's that one? I Won't Let You Down. How about that, Keating? Tom Petty. You know the first person I thought of, if you guys are from around here, Sue Galati, Sue Reddish. She loves Tom Petty. And when I grew up in the 80s here in Venice, and old Tommy, that's what we used to listen to Tom Petty a lot. Keating went to high school with me here in Venice. Let's see, fine dining again. I was just blown away, A, at the bill, and B, at how this idiot interviewed, acting like it was no big deal and to deal with it. Amazing. I did put this one video up there. It was amazing too. I think the guy was either high or drunk. Not sure which. He's up there like this as the shooter is shooting, and he's up on some kind of stage just standing there like this saying, "Come on, you pussies." And I got to think he was drunk or high. Who knows? Let's see. What else we got here? Northport motorcycle accident. How sad was that, folks? the lady lost her leg. And I think that's didn't we just have a motorcycle fatality the day before that? You know, my wife, she refuses to let me get a motorcycle because she's afraid in this area. She's like, there's too many people that don't pay attention, which is true. But I don't know if that was the motorcycle's fault or the car's fault, because I do have to say there's a lot of motorcyclists that do not pay attention. I think it's mostly these kids that get on these Kawasaki's and fly down the road. I think the older guys like myself, we're in slow motion. We just take it as it comes, and you're on your Harley. I think they're more responsible. I could be wrong, and people may think I'm an idiot, but it's tragic however you look at it. You gotta look out for the motorcycle riders. They got to be careful and not do 200 miles an hour in between cars. Somebody sent me a picture of somebody that was doing that, and I didn't share it because it was a clear shot of the guy. And I didn't know if there's two sides to every story, but she said he was swerving inside and out, and she almost hit him a few times. And that was like a day before that lady lost her leg yesterday. Registration for kids to drive, 15 and older. It's free through the high school. I put all the information out there. They're offering it through all the local high schools, and I believe it's this week. I put it out yesterday. So if you can, check that out. Any of these stories, if you go to the uncensoredreport.com, top right-hand side, there's a search bar. You can go up there and search any of this information out. Here's another one out of Vegas. This poor lady, I just saw her face, and I remember this story. She is an orthopedic doctor, and her husband, they were getting shot. Her husband shielded her, and he ended up getting killed. I mean, there was a lot of tragic stories out there. It's sad. All right, so bottom line, I think that's all of them out there. So most of the issue is floating around the whole Nokomis thing. Again, all I'm going to say is that one was here in high school. I believe the other one's graduated. I know a lot of kids are impacted by it. I know my daughter knew one individual that she's not a fatality, but she knew one of the individuals involved. And the whole story, I mean, I heard mine from a very, very, very reliable source of what happened, and it's tragic. I started putting it, and I felt really bad. A lot of times I'll put stuff and I just feel bad, and I'm like, something's not right here, and I take it down, which I did here because I just didn't feel right. And I think in this case, with this whole family, that poor young lady, it's just a messy situation. Just give them time. I'll allow local MSM to come out with it and piss everybody off. Let's see. That's it for the news. No questions? That's it for your local news. We could talk national, but you guys probably don't want to do that. All right. That's it for me. This has been Frankie Abbruzzino with the Scoop News.